So 42 Dugg just dropped a crazy album. It's filled with really hard tracks, but with also an emotional touch. So in today's video we're going to make a beat inspired by the overall album vibe, so let's get into it. So I just opened an empty project, and the first thing that I'm going to do is add a soft clipper on the master, because that is going to prevent clipping and that's really important. The second thing is to set the BPM to 165, 170 or something like that, because we are going for a Detroit vibe, and now we need to search for a sound that works for this type of beats. If you don't have analog lab, also expand, and the BBC Symphony Orchestra has some good strings. Let's try to use these ones because I like the texture. So to make this type of melodies actually is really easy. So the first thing that we need to do is lay down a chord like this, copy it over, and then we can move around the middle note, but by always following the scales. Yeah, it's really hard, man. Really, here you can find the progression that you want. You can start like this and go up and then down. So let's stick to the previous progression, and we can add, for example, the root note to make it sound a bit different. In my opinion, this is too fast, so we can lower a bit the BPM. Yeah, that's hard. They sound like they are reversed, and I really like that. Now, as I said at the start, these beats has an emotional touch to them, and you can decide the feeling that you want to give with your beat by using chords. Now here we already used chords, but it doesn't matter, we can still change the progression. So let's start with G sharp. That is the root note. And then we can go down 4 semitones. That is going to create that Lil Baby vibe that always works. Yeah. Actually, we could add also the 5th note of these chords that we are making. And lower the velocity of them. Yeah. Let's try to PG to F, maybe? Yeah, that's hard. As you can hear, it's slightly off time, and that's because these strings have some attack, so we're going to render this and cut the first beat like this. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now we can add some effects on this. So first of all, I'm going to unlink this melody to the master, and I'm going to create a melody bus where we add an EQ to remove the low end. It's really important to remove it, otherwise it's going to clash with the 808 and we don't want that. And this already sounds good. We can add an EQ and boost a bit the higher frequencies. Okay man, I really like this. But the next thing that we need to add are some bass notes. We already have them here, but I want to add a piano, and I'm going to use this close grand because it sounds good. And we can just copy the bass notes and paste them here. I like that, man. If we want, we can add a chorus on this. Yeah, I like that. Okay man, now that we have this, I want to add that classic Detroit bass, because we can find it in 42 Dugg beats, and it sounds crazy. So I'm going to use this one from my Nebula kit. I remember to do something like that with the envelope, because in this way the note will stop when you want. Okay, as always, the Detroit bounce is this one. And it sounds always hard. Sounds crazy, man. I don't know why, but I feel like this bass is too much in my face, so I'm going to add some reverb on it. But I'm going to make this low cut higher, because reverb on the low end is going to sound really bad. Yeah, it's so much better now. Okay, I actually added the Detroit bass right now because it sets the mood and it helps when you need to find a counter melody. In fact, right now we need to find one. So I'm going to open the Mellotron, that is always good, man. And let's try to use these strawberry flutes. And to make it sound a bit different, let's try to start with the 3rd note of the scale. Ooh, wait. but I think it's too much notes and now it sounds kinda too much. So I'm going to remove like this note. No, it's better in this octave. Now we can add some reverb on the mellotron. It has some distortion, but I like it. And we can pan it on the left. Because as always guys, panning all your instruments is really important. In fact, we pan this a bit on the left, and I want to make the main melody sound more wide, so I'm going to add stereo shaper with the stereoize 3 preset. So we can hear every instrument. Okay, this sounds really good, but this melody is kinda too fast. So I'm going to add half time. I think we're going to keep this version for the verse and keep the other one for the hook. Okay man, this beat is starting to sound insane, but I want to add some piano top notes on this. We started a melody with F and a counter melody with the third note of the scale. So now let's try to start with the fifth. Let's create a strum effect. Yeah, I like that, man. But we are working in the same pattern of the bass notes, so I'm just going to cut this and clone the piano. So now we can paste it here and add some different effects on it. So I like the chorus, so I'm just going to copy the preset. It's also reverb, pan it on the right. As you can hear, the volume is not consistent, it's always changing, so I'm going to add a compressor on this. And remember to add it before the reverb or it's going to sound bad. Now it's so much better. Okay man, I think that's pretty much it for the sample. We only have 5 sounds, but I really like this. And now we can arrange this to see if we have no variation and see how the beat is going to sound like. So I want to start with the halftime version of the melody. Maybe the piano coming in. Yeah, this is the drop. Okay, let's try to copy this over for the second part and have the mellotron. Yeah. It doesn't sound boring, I like that. And on the second part of the verse we can have the piano. Yeah. And now it's finally time for the drums. And I'm going to use the drums from the Nebula multi-kit, that by the way is currently at a really low price for the end of summer discount, so if you want to check it out, the link is in the description. And there is also a free version of it on my website, so don't miss out. But now let's add these drums, man. For Detroit beats, they use a really pitched up snare, so we can take something like this, and instead of having it in C5, we can pitch it up an octave, for example. It's good, but in 42 Dugg's album, we have normal claps and normal snares, so I want to blend these two styles together, like this. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Now it's time for the hi-hats. Here they kinda go crazy with the rolls, so I'm just going to select 1/3 step. And we can add also some lower rolls. Remember always to play around with the pan of your rolls. And we can copy this over with some variation. Yeah, we can keep it like this. Now we can click Alt-R to randomize the pen and the velocity, and we can just copy this over actually. Okay, that's good, but this isn't a Detroit beat without the bell. You can add some delay on it too. Yeah. Yeah, simple like this is better. I like that, but right now the drums aren't hitting as I want them to, so I'm going to create a drum bass like we did with the melodies. And I'm going to add this pretty fast distortion, but we can lower it. And also here remove the low end that we don't need. Now man, it's time to add a hat. Let's use this one that I always use. And also here we can follow a bit the main pattern. Yeah. So to pitch up the hat actually. Yeah, I like that. And we can randomize it too. I really sound full in my opinion, but I want to add a snare too, to create some more bounce, because we are missing that right now. And also here we can play around with the pen. That's crazy. And now man, it's finally time for the 808. So in this type of beats I heard a lot the spins, so we're just going to use it. And in this album, I heard that they go really crazy with the 808. When you try to do that, the best notes to use are of course the root note and the fifth note of the scale. That is this one. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, remember to drop a sub, like and comment, and check out this video if you want to make beats for another week.